Yep. So whilst he's coming up, we are Zec Hub. We're an education hub for the shielded ecosystem. So if you don't know what that means, we invite people to join our bounty program that we run and create educational material for Zcash and Penumbra, and hopefully soon Nomada as well. And so these are chains which use ZK proofs to achieve full sender and receiver privacy whilst keeping the amount fully private as well. So yeah, we create educational content and we also try to engage, build dialogue with other projects. Recently, we spoke with Pirate Chain, who also use CK snarks to achieve privacy. But I thought it'd be really interesting to speak with a project which doesn't focus entirely on privacy and find out what their use case is and who their users are. And yeah, welcome you, Maz. Thanks for joining.
Hey, thank you so much for hosting us here. So this is a really cool initiative. Thanks for reaching out, by the way. I didn't heard you about you before, but I think you are doing a great work here with these spaces. So I will leave the microphone for the rest of the guests, but really want to be here and speak about Citrea and learn more stuff from you guys.
Yeah, I'd be it would be great to exchange knowledge, um, or exchange zero knowledge. We'll see. Um, I also thought it was pretty cool to following Elon's message. Maybe someone should tag him and invite him to learn how Bitcoin actually works. Apparently, Bitcoin is encrypted. Who knew?
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know, man. Like, would he say something about that, and then he figured out, okay, there's some encryption. I'm not that technical, so I won't be getting there. Maybe at some point there's an encryption, but I don't know it.
Yeah, I don't believe so. Yeah,
Let me
I
find
think
that.
it relies on.
Let me find that tweet from Odi, because he was saying, "What the hell is Bitcoin encryption?" and then said, "Oh, okay, I'm the wrong one."
Right. I suppose to illustrate how encryption would work on Bitcoin, we can use Zcash as an example. Um, and so on Bitcoin, it uses UTXOs. We're all familiar with this. We have our inputs and our outputs, and when you make a transaction, the inputs must be equal to the outputs minus the fee. And so it's the same. It's the same on Zcash, except we we don't have the inputs and outputs publicly visible. Instead, we use notes, and so those when we make a transaction, we create like a commitment to the amount that we have, and the address that it's going to, and a ZK proof is instead submitted and broadcast across the network. And full nodes are able to verify that proof is correct and that person has all the funds that they say they have, except, yeah, they get to keep their financial freedom because, yeah, once the amount people are holding and transferring is publicly visible, it introduces like maybe some risks to their personal safety or to censorship if you have people watching what you're doing and so on. Um, yeah, that was Zcash. Can we get an introduction of what Citrea is?
Cool. There's also ZK in here, so I will start from that part. First of all, Citra is a bit different. It's not UTXO based like Bitcoin or Zcash. It's actually account based, which you might be familiar with from like Ethereum and other EVM chains. Which has some pros and some cons. Like with UTXO, you can scale very easily. than account-based blockchains. Actually, UTXO has that privilege, to be honest. But with account-based chains, you can do much more. Um, Mostly on the smart contract level, which means like you can build applications which can be utilized in a decentralized way. So what we are building on Citrea is making it possible for Bitcoin. Actually, at the moment, Bitcoin has little to no programmability on its underlying layer one, but we have seen that Bitcoin gained tremendous attraction from everyone, like from retail to institutions. Everyone wants to utilize Bitcoin. However, in current space, you cannot utilize Bitcoin very easily in a financial way. I mean, in a decentralized way, um, through Bitcoin layer one. Almost all people trying to utilize their Bitcoin in layer one, giving out their custody away, or using some like third parties, which they still giving out their custodies, which like access their trust issues. Anyway, we are trying to fix that. We have a really cool approach in that category. First of all, we have actually two core products. I can say that Citrea is not just one stuff. It has basically two core products. One is the bridge design, which is more related with also ZK, and it it enables trust minimization. This bridge is the first time happening on Bitcoin space. It's first time enabling trust minimized Bitcoin transfers outside of the Bitcoin network. While I'm saying outside, it will basically store your Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network. Since these chains cannot communicate with other chains, Citrea makes it another version of BTC on the Citrea network, which can be utilized for any applications. But the trust between these chains will be still like anchored via Bitcoin transactions. So in our bridge design, it's trust minimized. While I'm saying trust minimized, it's just one of n, because all of the people are saying using trust minimization as a term, which which is like a, yeah, I get it, which is like a spectrum, but we are at the one of n, which is the most almost trustless way to utilize this bridge. And this is the first time happening. Anyway, I got lost a bit. With this bridge design, basically people can have access to this EVM environment, which can be programmable, which is the second part of our core product, two core products. So they will bridge their BTC, they will utilize their BTC, and when they want to peg out from Citrea, they can easily do that via our bridge design. If there is just one honest party which is securing the bridge, which is Leave, it's enough to secure all the funds, all the chain itself. There is no need to have majority trust assumptions. There is no need to like trust more than one party in the bridge design. That's make us unique, to be honest. There's no way you can do this in other ecosystem. Until now, there was some other products like Rapid Bitcoin, like some others anyway. Most of them are using multi-sigs, which you need to trust more than one counterparty. Like most of them are using multi-sigs, 3 out of 5. Or there's this threshold, which is very cool. They using 51 out of 100 signers. You need to still trust the majority of the signers. So what we are enabling is reducing these trust issues to one of n, which is very cool. It wasn't possible until like probably this year. Like BitPM came up much earlier, like 1.5 years ago. But in the implementation level, we just did it like last month. We implemented in our test nets, which is the first time happening. Anyway, it's two core products mainly. One is the bridge design, another is the
BitVM. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that's quite interesting. So it's one of n, and it doesn't use multi-sig. So when people are depositing, when they want to peg into Citrea, what's happening there? What's
Sure.
where's it going? What's it going into?
So I didn't say it's not multisig. I just said it's trust minimized one offense. So this is the
Ah,
basic
okay.
workflow I will give you out. So let's say you want to use Citrea, okay? You want to peg into Citrea. Basically, you need to send 10 BTC to the bridge account, and bridge creates a vault for your, okay? You send your 10 BTC to this vault, which is n of n, which means still one of n trust assumption. So in bridge there are n verifiers, okay? And n of these verifiers should sign to open that vault in case anything needed. So you send your money there, still one of n trust minimized assumption. You get your CBTC on Citrea. Then you utilize it and you want to peg out. You want to leave the Citrea to go back to Bitcoin again. You ask from Bridge to peg out. Bridge has operators which gives you some codes about like how much BTC they can give you, which means like they compete each other to give the best price for you. So some says 9.9, some says 9.95. These are just examples for codes. And you get the best price you can get to go outside from the Citrea to Bitcoin. And you get your BTCs on Bitcoin network directly. These operators pays from their pocket to you, so you get your BTC on Bitcoin network directly. This is
Awesome.
happening
Yeah.
epoch by epoch. I just want to clarify this. So end of the epoch, these operators showing their transaction proofs to the verifiers says that okay, I paid this amount to this guy, and this is the proof, ZK proof. You can verify it. Uh, Bridge checks it. If everything is correct, they can just open that vault and pay the money to operator. If something is going wrong, someone is trying to cheat, then they can challenge. At that point, challenge is happening on chain directly on Bitcoin network, and they can slash that operator. They don't pay anything, and they slash their money, which was staked.
Okay, so I have a few questions there. First of all, where's the incentive for these operators? Um, because as far as I'm aware, there's no Citria token,
Oh,
and so yeah.
so as a beginning, like they will get BTCs from users, right? Um, they don't pay you 10 BTC direct, like they pay you BTC directly, but it's not 10 BTC. They cut some fees, which is the incentive for them. They trade with you basically.
Okay. Natively Bitcoin all the way down. I like
Yeah.
it. So there was another question I had. Um,
By the way, sometimes I talk too much. Just sorry for that.
no. Okay, yeah. So we were talking about the pegging in and withdrawal process.
Yeah.
So is it correct? Because I was reading through the docs very briefly, and I think it stated that there's like set amounts, discrete amounts that you can either deposit or withdraw. And so I'm kind of curious the justification or yeah, what's the rationale there?
Yeah, the amount is 10 BTC, by the way. It's because of Bitcoin's programmability. So at the beginning, creating this bridge, you need to pre-sign every possible transactions with verifiers. Like they are opening a vault for you, right? If you like reduce the amount to let's say 1 BTC, then it scales logarithmically, and it can cause bloat. Also, it enables it creates a lot of more fees because every signature is spending an UTX. So best optimal way was 10 BTC. But we have an R&D team. They're like trying to figure out if they can reduce, but it won't be the one way you can get into Citrea. This bridge will be mostly utilized by LPers and market makers to bring Bitcoin liquidity to Citrea, right? if a regular user wants to use the Citrea with their BTCs, they can use atomic swap bridges. We have integrated with some others as well. So it's atomic swap. It's still like trustless. You don't need to trust anybody. You can just these atomic swap bridges basically gets BTC from you on Bitcoin network, and they give their CBTC on Citrea to you. And time to time, they just rebalance their pools via our bridge. Yeah.
Really cool. Yeah. It just kind of reminded me, with the set 10 BTC amount, uh, the like before Zcash, there was the zero cash paper, and before the zero cash paper, there was the zero coin paper. And in this design, there would be like set amounts that you could either deposit into the private, into the shielded pool, or withdraw it. So it's a funny parallel. These things are still
Yeah.
happening. Um, on the you mentioned, yeah, that it was because it would like increase transaction fees, and there, I don't know, be a lot of computation required
Yes.
to allow people to yeah. So Zuko replied to one of the tweets announcement of this call, and he said, ask them about Blake 3 hashing algorithm. And so I have a funny suspicion that maybe this new hashing algorithm could like improve or optimize what's happening. I don't know.
Interesting. I have no idea what is Blake tree. So I'm not the most technical one in the team. I'm most on the product side, to be honest. I'm DevRel, but I'm not coding. I'm mostly handling the developer communications. I'm technical, but not coding as well. I have no idea about Blake tree, to be honest.
Yep, neither do I. Same boat, same boat. So yeah, let's talk about the product. We've kind of discussed Citrea in an abstract way, but I'm kind of wondering, like, when it's in use, am I going to a website? Do I connect my wallet somehow? How would I actually interact with it?
So basically, Citrea is a protocol, right? So protocols like for users don't directly get interacted with protocols. Protocols are the infrastructures. I really like this example. Basically, like we are building the Apple Store, but there will be apps which users will use. Users are not going to like use Apple Store direct, right? They need to utilize those applications to get interact with Apple Store or Apple anyway. So Citrea is kind of this apps infrastructure. We are building it right now. There will be a bunch of applications, and some of them already incubated by us. Some of them deploying right now. We are handling the integrations. We are like working with them hands on hands. So when you want to use the Citrea, you will basically use one of the applications live on Citrea. And those applications can be anything, like any kind of applications can be built on Citrea. We can deep dive into that if you like. And for those applications, basically, most of the time you need to connect your wallet, because if you are doing some financial transactions, right, it will ask your like signature, not your private key, don't worry. And but sometimes some of the applications are mobile first. You don't need to connect your wallet directly. They will create wallets for you inside of the applications. You just send some balance, some money to there, some BTC to there to use the applications. It's all happening in a trust manner, so you do not need to worry about losing your money if you use that applications. If there's no security issues, it won't be happening. Don't worry.
Nice, good to hear. Yeah, Zcash also takes security very very much as its core principle. Um, I just noticed, so going through the Citrea docs as we're having this conversation, and I see here that okay, so it uses Taproot. There's something called a Taproot recovery address.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, so how, how interesting is this? That Zcash still has we're still using a full node called Zcash and that's the old Bitcoin code base from I think circa 2016 or something. Um, so there's a bit of Bitcoin DNA, like very much, even the 21 million supply cap and all of this. So there's this Bitcoin DNA in Zcash, and there's also Zcash DNA in Bitcoin because the Zcash Foundation developed something called Frost, and this is the threshold signatures you were talking about.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and yeah, so Frost enables Taproot, and it's just this like you'd never know how similar Bitcoin and Zcash are.
Yeah, yeah, I need to definitely deep dive on that. But if you wanna clarify the separate recovery address, it's basically in case these bridge operations fails, like in case when you are bridging to Citrea, some of your transaction fails or get not included to block space in Bitcoin, you can recover your funds directly with that separate recovery address. It just has some time to wait to like make sure the transaction is failed or get through. Then you can get your funds if it didn't get through.
That is really important functionality. Um, yeah, so I think we could kind of dig a bit further into what kinds of apps is Citrea in testnet at the moment.
Sure. Currently we have an ecosystem page if you're like interested to check it out. Like ecosystem citrea.xyz/ecosystem. It doesn't show all the applications at the moment working on Strea, like building on Strea, because they haven't integrated. Uh, we are just prioritizing to show integrated applications. So whenever a user visit this page, they can do something actually. Anyway, there are more in a nutshell. Uh, when I check, there is this Tanari. It's a self-owned Bitcoin financial platform, which is basically a seedless way to store your Bitcoin assets or utilize it, trade it. Like you don't have seed phrase or private key in this wallet because it uses iPhones like Apple's Enclave, Secure Enclave, or similar to Android has similar stuff, Keystore or something like that. So it just stored there your private key and nobody knows it. You can recover it with your guardians, but you don't see any private key, which is cool for onboarding users. There is Nectra. It's a stable coin fully backed by BTC. They are building something really cool. It's something like maybe like liquidity or other stable coins, fully BTC backed. Um, the idea is
No, this is the first one.
this is the first one you heard. Okay,
Yeah.
so you know the problem, right? BTC is volatile. Everyone wants to have the exposure when it's going up, but people wants to also have some stability in case like something happens, or they want to have some stable version of tokens to their financial applications, financial interactions, right? If they're shorting or longing.
Hmm.
To create this to supply this demand to there are USDT, USDC stable coins, maybe probably you heard, but they all are centralized. So whenever people are using that, they are taking the risk. Their got funds getting frozen, which we are seeing a lot of is happening. If there is some kind of like money laundering or some kind of hacking stuff is happening, these guys are freezing their funds, which might be okay for people since they're hackers, but it shows that they have this functionality and they can freeze your funds. In our case, we need something fully decentralized stable coin. It's not for hacking any protocol. It's for our own safety. People want unstoppable money like Bitcoin in a stable way, which is Nectar is building
Yep.
basically.
That's okay. So this is really cool, and um,
I can go over, but
I just want to point out, yeah, yeah, just so I just want to point out I do on occasion use Bitcoin. I use Zcash. I store my money privately on Zcash, and when there's something I need to purchase, like a VPN or something, I'll um use something like Near Intense or My Protocol and swap it for Bitcoin and then make the purchase. Just wanted to point that out. I'm not any kind of maxi for anything. Um, and yeah, secondly, this so stable coins on Bitcoin, um, and more importantly, non-custodial stable coins on Bitcoin is so fascinating. It will be fascinating to all of the Zcashers in this call because if you weren't aware, there's something in the works happening. It's in development. It's called Zcash Shielded Asset.
Nice.
And it's going to bring, yeah, user-defined assets. So people will be able to issue stable coins or governance tokens or what have you. So a system like this is worth us like uh, really looking into.
That's cool. I can
And
give you an example, by the way, and I will ask questions too. For Zcash, definitely. I
please,
say, just for an example, maybe this stable coin might be a like high level context for some people here, but imagine that people are believing Zcash, Bitcoin, or some other assets are going to $1 million. They are going to do 10 more X anyway. They don't want to spend basically their assets, but if they can collateralize it in a trustless way, they can borrow against it. And like best borrowable asset is basically a stable coin, which is stable, right? With Nectar, you can do that. Like that's the main core value proposition here. If you don't want to spend your asset, you can basically get a loan by collateralizing it and spend that that stable coin since it's going to zero and Bitcoin is going to $1 million. That's the main value proposition here.
I love it. Yeah, we need things like this. So someone's Zecco, check out this decentralized algorithmic stablecoin on Bitcoin Cash called Moria Money. Thank you.
Oh.
I'll check it out. Yeah, so here's something that we 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 might run into. So because Bitcoin is what we would describe as fully transparent, we were talking about like how these custodians these centralized custodians can freeze people's money.
Yes.
So, of course, Bitcoin remains a permissionless network and always will do. However, I think increasingly, as exchanges, centralized exchanges become like more and more important, more people enter crypto and just leave their money in centralized exchanges and things like this. Um, Something that might happen. So this is a light warning, or I don't know, I don't know how to describe it, but what could happen is, you have these chain analysis firms,
Yeah.
like Chainalysis, or I think it's Elliptic and Arkham Intelligence, and all these firms. Um, they obviously see everything that's happening, and when a deposit is being made into a centralized exchange or into a business or uh, like whatever there's these APIs that you can plug into your website or your store or your shop, and it kind of checks the chain or the coin history. Sorry. So when, let's say, I my friend sends me one BTC and I want to pay for something in the shop and I pay for it, that shop has an API that's checking the history of the coin that I received from my friend. If they don't like my friend, his politics or his like anything, a charity he's affiliated with or a country he visited, if they don't like that, they will deem my coin as being somewhat risky and probably reject it.
Yes.
That's a possibility that we should be aware of.
Actually, this has happened. If you are not aware, Do you recall the Tornado Cash situation happened like 3 years ago or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically like Coinbase or all the other centralized exchange or ramping protocols basically freeze a lot of people's funds since they interacted with Tornado Cash, which is only a smart contract lives on a EVM environment. It's a mixer. It's a familiar concept for everyone, I believe. It's basically mix the funds, so uh, in a way funds are getting like 10 BTCs getting, and when you put out 10 BTC and 10 days later, nobody can say which put that money in the pool, right? So it was for a privacy tool. And when this happened, like Coinbase or other decentralized exchange basically said, OFAC is asked this, so we need to freeze your funds, which is like ridiculous. They didn't take the deposits, people couldn't off ramp it. In that period, as Chainway Labs, by the way, we are the building company of Citrea. Our team came up with an idea which is called Proof of Innocence, which was the first RZK interactions at that time. We came up with an idea, the team actually, I wasn't at the team at that moment. You can prove that you are not taking any black money. You are not trying to money launder through Tornado Cash. It's pure ZK. It's Merkle proof confirmations. You don't need to show any identity. You can just prove that, okay, this money is not a black money. This money not coming from a hacked protocol. I'm not a hacker. You can prove that very easily. This implemented in several projects other after that. Um, I can give some names, maybe Railgun.
Railgun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have privacy pools, which is Ekrem built. You know Ekrem probably. He's our co-founder. Anyway, yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we have a pretty good history with ZK and privacy actually. So we are taking this very seriously.
Mhm.
And like yesterday you saw probably like I really pissed off when I see that. Like this Russell Brick got like 300 BTC or something as a grant, right? Somebody donated
Yeah.
him, and Arkham, which was the protocol you were mentioning, just disclosed it. Okay, this is his money. He got it from. People are saying, yeah, he's like laundering his money. Anyway, I'm not in that topic, but basically, this all happening on Bitcoin, and there's no privacy, almost no privacy, right? If they know your wallet, you're hacked up. He's walking with a target on his back, probably. It's really bad. Yeah, that's why privacy is needed, and I really care about that with Zcash, and we will hopefully have some more privacy protocols on Citrea as well.
Yes, I do hope so. Because it's like not about being any kind of maximalist. It's kind of just trying to keep everyone safe. So if it like privacy pools, I think it's great. There's just one thought, which is because there's this proof of innocence, you can say, look, I can prove all my funds didn't come from any like illicit activity. Yes. Which is actually that gives people like agency. It's really good. However, just something to keep in mind is that um fully permissionless protocols, people should be able to also decide which protocols they use. If they want something which doesn't have any kind of compliance feature, they should be free to use
Definitely.
that. And I think in several countries, like they do have that right to choose whichever internet protocol they interact with. So, yeah, when it comes to lawmakers, I just hope that they don't see something like proof of innocence as being the only option. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. But it was a solution at that time, which is still working, and it was needed for some of the people and some of the protocols, right? This is not a yes or no or black or white space. You need several solutions, several protocol for several different needed. Uh, so this is just once. Zcash is doing something else, and there are several other privacy tools. Like this is just one example. I just wanted to highlight since we were talking about it.
Yeah. Okay, so Citrea allows people to build apps on Bitcoin, which is really cool. Um, is it possible to build like a privacy app
Definitely,
on Citrea?
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It's EVM compatible, right? This you said privacy pools actually built on EVM space. So basically, it's oh, sorry, it's a virtual machine, right? So you can run any applications on that. You just need to code it.
Awesome. We do agree with the message. Privacy is normal. I just want to shout out. We've got another team member on ZCub. We've got Dismad here. I don't know, Dismad. Do you want to chime in with any thoughts or?
Hi, Dismand.
Yeah. I,
Hello, how you guys doing? Just want to say I think this is really interesting, and I love the intersect of the education, especially on, like Squirrel said, the practical privacy is normal, and for real world usage, having multiple solutions for privacy tools is critical. So I love that you guys are working in this space, and I'm looking forward to trying out some of the bridges that are built out in the apps. One question I do have is if folks are looking to build on Citrea, like where do they go? Like, how do you get more involved?
So we have a builders chat group. First of all, in Telegram, I can happily share with you. It's invite only, but if you are interested to build applications, and you can get direct hands-on-hand support from there. Also, we have a Discord channel. You can find it on our website. You can come there and ask your question. Community or our DevRel team will initiate with you. Also, you can DM me, direct message to me anytime if you have any questions. Or we have docs fully open in our website. We have fully open source GitHub. If you want to deep dive in the code, you can deep dive and see what our team is cooking on that. Yeah, actually, we have very broad developer docs right now, and we want to expand it more. If you have any suggestion, we are open to listen that too.
Yeah, just one more shout out. Oh, sorry, Squirrel. Just wanted to point out, one of the benefits of ZecHub is that we allow contributors to help out with tasks that need to be done. So there's a potential for ZecHub DAO members or even just ZecHub contributors who want to help build out some of that documentation you were mentioning. Perhaps we can, build with each other. So that's an idea that I was thinking about.
Awesome, we can discuss that definitely.
Love it. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I think we kind of went through all of the main points that we had. I guess a final thing which I would like to ask is, when I was new to crypto, and I made my first actual peer-to-peer transaction, that was like a moment of revelation where I suddenly understood something that I didn't. Well, it was actually when I put the transaction ID in a block explorer, and then I kind of played around. That's when that revelation came. And so here's an opportunity for the people in the call who haven't tried fully shielded transactions on Zcash. Is you could download a wallet like Zashi is a good one. You could go to a faucet where you can get some free Zcash. You can share your address openly on Twitter, and you won't be risking anything, because it's all private. And when you make that private transaction, you include a private message with it. You check the transaction ID on a block explorer, and you see nothing. I'm describing it, but it will feel different when you do try it. So give it a go, guys.
I will definitely tomorrow first thing. And do you know that's like this is one of the pain points all this account based or UTXO based non-privacy chains is that almost no way you can get privacy if you like on ramp it through a centralized exchange or any exchange. So it will be awesome to have some kind of Zcash Citrea bridge actually, so people can feel that privacy fully and they can reach out to applications on Citrea in a private way. I will definitely try to like first my private transactions on Zcash, and I will see if there is any team willing to build this atomic swap bridge with the Zcash and Citrea. I think it can be interesting.
You know, I think it would be interesting as well. And I know that there are a lot of Bitcoiners who are interested in the type of privacy Zcash offers. There's a project, I think it's called Z-Side, or it was called Z-Side, or it's like a side chain for Bitcoin, which is basically just the Zcash protocol. As far as I'm aware, it hasn't been fully built yet. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I have not.
But the demand is, the demand is there. So, let's try and keep in contact and see what we can do.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you so much for hosting us again. It was a lovely chat. I can speak for hours, but maybe next time. If you have any questions about Citrea or the applications of Citrea, please reach out. Don't hesitate. I'm here to like onboard you all if you are really interested. See you. Thank you so much.
Will do. Take care. Bye bye.